Test, test, test. Hello, guys. Woman, men, children, child, um, whatever. Let's begin. Last time we ended Genesis. Now we're starting with Exodus. Exodus, guys. Oh my god, Exodus. Oh my god. Oh my god. How long are they? Pretty short. I think I can read like 3 chapters. Yeah, I think I can read like 3 chapters today. Let's try. Okay, we begin. Now, okay. Exodus? Okay. Now, these are names of the sons of Israel who came to Egypt with Jacob. Each man came with his household. The Reuben, Simon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zabulin, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the persons who came forth with the lions of Jacob were 70 persons, but Joseph was already in Egypt, and Joseph died, and all his brothers, and all that generation. But the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and grew exceedingly strong, and the land was filled with them. And a new king rose up over Egypt, who did not know Joseph. And he said to his people, These people, the people of the children of Israel, are now more numerous and stronger than we. Come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they what does lest mean? Okay. Lest they multiply, and when some worse occurs, they also join themselves to those who hate us and fight against us and go up from the land. So they set taskmasters over them to afflict them with their burdens, and they built storage cities for Pharaoh, Pithom, and Ramseh. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied, and the more they spread out, so that they came to dread the children of Israel. Okay, that's kind of bad. I haven't fixed my headphones first, they're kind of intertwined with each other. Give me a sec. Okay, everything is fixed now. 3, okay. Where's my other thingy? Here it is. Fuck, it fell. There. But the Egyptians made the children of Israel serve with harshness, and they made their lives bitter with hard labor, in mortar and in brick, and in all kinds of labor in the field. All their labor, which they made them serve, was with harshness. And the king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives, on whose name was Shiphrah, and the other whose name was Puach. And he said, when you act as midwives for the Hebrew woman, and see them on the bird stool. What's a bird stool? What is bird stool? Bird stool. If it is a son, then you shall put him to death, but if it's a daughter, then she shall live. Oh my fucking god. That's just harsh. But the women feared God and did not do as the king of Egypt had commanded them, but let the male children live. So the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said to them, Why have you done this thing and let the male children live? And the midwife said to Pharaoh, Because the Hebrew women are not like Egyptian women, for they are vigorous. Before the midwife comes to them, they give birth. What is vigorous? Like, okay. And God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and grew very strong. And because of the midwives, Because the midwives feared God, he established households for them, and Pharaoh commanded all his people, saying, every son who is born you shall cast into the river, but every daughter you shall let live. That's just harsh, man. And the man of the house of Levi went and took a daughter of Levi as wife. And the woman conceived and bore her son. And when she saw that he was a little child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him a papyrus basket and plastered it with tar and pitch. And she put the child in it and placed it among the reeds on the bank of the river. And her sister stood at a distance and found out what would happen to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe in the river, while her maidens walked alongside the river. And when she saw the basket in the midst of the reeds, she sent her female servant, and she brought it to her. And she opened it, and she saw a child, and there was a boy crying. And she had compassion on him and said, This is one of the Hebrews' children. Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, Shall we go and call a nurse for the Hebrew woman for you, that she may nurse the child for you? And the Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Go. And the girl went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Take this child away and nurse him for me, and I'll give you your wages. So the woman took the child and nursed him. And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses, and said, Because I drew him out of the water. Holy shit, this is Moses. That's pretty cool, man. And in those days, when Moses has grown up, he went out to his brothers and looked on their burdens, and he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his brothers. And he looked this way, and that, and when he saw that there was no one there, he struck the Egyptian down and hit him in the sand. And when he went out the next day, and there were two Hebrew men struggling together, he said to the one who was in the wrong, Why are you beating your companion? And he said, Who appointed you a ruler and a judge over us? Are you thinking to kill me as you killed the Egyptians? And Moses said, frightened, and said, Surely this matter is unknown. Moses became frightened and said, Surely the matter is known. Now, when Pharaoh heard of this matter, he sought to kill Moses, but Moses fled from Pharaoh to dwell in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. What is troughs? A long, narrow, open container for animals. That's pretty cool. And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses rose up and helped them and watered their flock. And when they came to Reu, their father said, Why have you came back so quickly today? And they said, An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and he even drew water for us, and what else? And watered the flock. And he said to his daughters, And where is he? Why do you leave me? Invite him to eat a meal. And Moses agreed to stay with the man. And he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter. And she bore a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a... What is that shit? Sojourner in a foreign land. Sojourner meaning a temporary resident. Okay, in a foreign land. And the course of those many days, the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel groaned because of the bondage. So many unknown words. God just groaned because of the bondage, and they cried out, and their cry went up to God because of their bondage, and God heard their groaning, and God remembered his Covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. What is covenant? Agreement, okay. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God took notice of them. Oh, God is a badass. He's gonna come now and fucking run up. Now Moses was shepherding the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the back of the wilderness, and he came to the mountain of God of Horeb. And the angel of Jehovah appeared to him in a flame out of fire in the midst of the thorn bush of a thorn bush. And when he looked, there was a thorn bush burning on fire, but the thorn bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I must arise now and see this great sight, why the thorn bush is not burned up. And when Jehovah saw that he had turned aside to look, God called him out of the midst of the thorn bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. Here I am. And he said, I do not come near here. Remove your sandals from your feet, for the place on which you're standing is holy ground. And he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look at God. And Jehovah said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who were in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. And I have come down to deliver them out of the land of the Egyptians, to bring them up out of the land, to a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, to a place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. And boost. And now the cry of the children of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression with which the Egyptians oppress them. I come now, and I'll send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. I'm gonna go get water, beer. And now, lads, let's keep going. What's up? Where were they? We had those. And I have come down to deliver them out of the land of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of the land of the place the cat. And now the cry of the children of Israel have come to me, and I have also seen the oppression with which the Egyptians oppress them. Okay. So come now, and I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh, and that I should bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? And he said, Surely I will be with you. Moses knows. That I will be with you, and this shall be a sign for you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will serve God upon this mountain. Then Moses said to God, If I come to the children of Israel, and they say to them, The God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they say to me, What is his name? What I should say to them? And God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent to you. What? What? I am. I am who I am, God meaning. My name by which God wished to be known, it is I am who I am. God's eternal nature. So I am. What? I am who I am? So what the fuck? What the hell? That's goofy as fuck, bro. Goofy as fuck. Top G. God is a top G. And God also said to Moses, Thus he shall say to the children of Israel, Jehovah. The God of your fathers the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, he sent me to you. This is my name forever. This is my memorial from generation to generation. Go and gather the elders of Israel together and say to them, Jehovah, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac and of Jacob, has appeared to me, saying, I have surely visited you and seen what is being done to you in Egypt. And I say, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt to the land of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites to a land flowing the milk and honey. And then we will listen to your voice, and you shall come, you and the elders of Israel, to the king of Egypt, and you shall say to him, Jehovah, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us, and now let us go a 3-day journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to Jehovah our God. But I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless compelled by a mighty hand. So I shall stretch out my hand and strike Egypt with all my wonders, which I will perform in the midst of it, and after that he will let you go. And I will give the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that when you go, you will not go empty-handed, but every woman will ask a neighbor of any woman, and of any woman living in her house for articles of silver and articles of gold and clothing. You will put them on your sons and your daughters, and thus plunder the Egyptians. Cheekers. It's a bit long, I'm not gonna read that. Okay, what the fuck happened? So, there's Pharaoh, who doesn't like the doesn't like the fucking Hebrews, doesn't like the Jews. And then he is being a cunt and says, every man kill every woman that is born. Every man that is born kill every woman that is born alive. But then he changes to every man push to river. Then one woman has a child, man, doesn't push him to the river, and he hides him for 3 months, but when he's too old, she pushes him to a river. Some Egyptian fuckers see him, some Egyptian, like Elise, the daughter of the Pharaoh. The nurse, one of the servants of the daughter of the Pharaoh, keeps him and shit. And when he's old enough, he becomes the child of the daughter of the Pharaoh. But then, when he's out, he sees the Egyptian and Jew fighting, and he fucks up the Egyptian and kills him. Then the next day he sees 2 Jews fighting. He says, why are you fighting with your companion? He says, are you gonna kill me like you killed the Egyptian? Then the Pharaoh hears about the killing and goes to kill the Moses. That's his name, right? Moses, yeah. And then, like, what happens afterwards? He runs away. He comes to area type shit. Then he helps the 7 daughters, the priests of the area, to bring water. Then the guy says, why didn't you invite him to come eat with us? And he comes eat with us, and the guy gives one of his daughters to him. And then when he's out doing something with the sheep, he sees a burning bush. As many lives yet. He sees a burning bush. Because God, and that burning bush is like an angel. Burning bush doesn't burn. And God tells him that he should bring all the Jews together and carry them into the good land. And God has heard beforehand what the people have been like, not that top G. Like how the Egyptians are harsh towards the other people. Towards the Jews, and like, how to save them, and in the conversation he says, "Who am I to save them?" He says, "You are the guy who saves them." And he says, "What do I call you?" And then God says something like, "I am who I am." So, Costa Brat, keep going. "I am who I am," so you should say that I am to them. And then he tells them that he needs to tell the elders about that shit, and he needs to tell them that he will bring them to a land of honey and water, honey and milk running on the river. And then at the end, he also tells them that he needs to. What's the thing? He needs to fucking tell the woman to wear clothes or some shit. So they can plunder the Egyptians, and God is gonna nuke Egypt with his magical power. That's it. For the chapter. Yeah, so I feel like this is way shorter than Genesis, bro. Everything in Genesis is like 36 and shit. When you go to Exodus, everything is kinda short. Okay. Also, God is a bit fucking cocky. Like, what is this thing, bro? Not cocky, like, that's just aura, man. That's just aura. Alright. That will be the video. I'll probably start reading a bit more. Like 4 chapters, maybe, or some shit. Anyways, that's the video.